We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs. Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. The World Team Trials were this past weekend, and
They
we're
were.
here to recap all the madness that happened there.
Are.
And Eamon, welcome.
Thank
You were
you.
just talking about the madness that just happened with Chance Monticello versus Carter Strachan?
Yes, we were. We were talking about that. A bit controversial, you could say. But
Eamon definitely got heated about it.
as you can see.
Eamon, why don't you tell us about it?
Um, well, so I guess I say it's controversial, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. And Carter's reattacks were like on point in that match. So
Such a good takedown.
like he had a takedown off a reattack that was insane, that wasn't gonna get stopped. But there's a sequence and I noticed this in the World Team Trials in general, that they seem to stop like mid scrambles. They'll just bring them up, and it's like, why not let them continue wrestling out and see what happens? And they stopped one with Carter versus Chance, and I was just a bit surprised. They were sort of scrambling, and then Chance lifted the ankle, and it wasn't in any position that at least I saw that was dangerous. And the ref just blew it up, and I was like, well, that's the potential scoring situation taken away. But yeah, like I said, Carter's reattack was insane.
Yeah, the reattack was nice because Chance kind of like limp um wizard out of it, and then
Yeah,
Carter was right in on that low single
it
right
was
after
really
that.
nice.
I just think Chance too, like, was not expecting that. Like a lot of guys, and this is for folk style too, is referee's position, you finally break away to get, you cut off your escape, and guys don't expect you to shoot right then.
Yeah, they kind of relaxed a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly. And for a second, Chance, Carter shot, Chance defended, Chance relaxed for a second, expecting that they'd, kind of tie up again before he shot, and Carter was right back in there. And it was
I think he
very
gets away
slick.
with that because he's got like a lower center of gravity. So he figures like when that happens, I can kind of chill. But Carter can get low sometimes. He got really low, and
It was kind of a brain fart too for Chance Marsteller. I was surprised that like someone of his
And this
yeah,
wasn't their first
experience
meeting, right?
no,
wasn't. Carter lost to him last time they wrestled, I think 2 years ago.
yeah,
Um, I didn't think Carter was going to go as far as he did. I will say that. I wasn't
really?
sure how
Well,
Carter's a
just
great
What are you, a
based on
wrestler.
the fact
hater?
that he hadn't beat Marsteller in their last
Well,
meeting.
it's a tough bracket. I expected him to. My expectation was that he's probably going to take third and beat up on Parker Keckheisen. I
Yeah,
thought that could have been a fun match to see how they match him in freestyle. But the last time we saw Carter, he was in the leg brace. He had just finished folk style season. He was trying to get down to 74, and then he ended up going up anyway to
yeah.
86. And I wasn't too sure how he would do. And we saw him at the U23s as well, and he took bronze. And just a lot of people were saying like, maybe Carter's a great wrestler, but that's why he's leaning towards the MMA side of things
I
because
guess
of
my
the
thing with
freestyle.
86 is, do we see like any sort of progression with Parker, or is it he kind of reached his height and he's not gonna? Because he's gotten, I mean, with Dake,
Uh, I don't know.
hasn't
I think the
gotten.
field is so deep though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is the.
it's hard. It's too soon to say anything about if
I think
Carter.
he should drop if he can, but
Carter?
no, Parker.
Do you think
Oh,
any of those guys can stack up to Zahid?
No.
Kyle Dake maybe. And
Yeah,
it's like he looked much better at the World Team Trials than I thought he looked at the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
But
true.
even then, like,
I think it's still Zahid's weight
yeah,
class.
it really is a heat to lose. I mean, he's
Actually, hot take. I think Carter could.
I think Carter he does a good job of keeping matches close so
yeah.
that he could weasel away a win.
But he's already out of the running for this year, so
Well, let's
I
talk
know,
about it.
but
But look at Brooks. He figured out Zahid. Like, granted, like,
Pretend he pulled the singlet, and then
granted, there was some.
yeah, I mean that. Did you see that?
I don't, I don't want to get the comment section like all livid about that one, but like I just think that for whatever reason, like the same thing with Penn State, they always seem to just like figure it out.
You did say that several times that
The
they
most
kept
thing,
getting involved.
the biggest thing I was surprised about was Carter's
Did he get him?
sportsmanship after the loss.
Oh, the
Well, to
tweet.
his
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
teammate. I mean, it's one thing to lose to like,
And then he also
you know,
commented on his coaches not being in his corner and it being weird.
no, he said,
yeah.
well, he said it's weird to be coached against your, to be coached
Yeah.
against by your coaches. Like that's what his point was. And that is weird. I mean, it's just like why I'm sure a lot of guys that listen out there, when they have wrestle offs between their team, they don't coach either side of it. They just let them wrestle.
Yeah, usually it's just kind of empty. We just kind of wrestle and that's it.
Um, but so
We could go into
you
like
guys think?
70 kilos too, maybe?
Well,
Or you
I
guys
want
want
to
to stick
talk
with
quick about
86?
the Dake versus Carter.
Eamon doesn't even want to bother with Dake on Carter.
So
Yeah, very controversial. Was it a
That
takedown?
one,
Was timeout?
so
I,
Christian Pyle spoke about it, and
yeah, he did.
he he spoke with the head ref that was in charge of like reviewing the
Yeah.
call, and he said it wasn't a time issue because a lot of us that were
Wow.
watching it saw the clock go from 4 seconds to 0 seconds, and we're like, time must have been out. That must have been why they called it.
That's why I
And
thought at
that
first.
seemed like a reasonable thing to say, okay, it sucks, but like that's reasonable. That wasn't the issue. So what the ref told Christian Piles was that Kyle Dake holding in the chest wrap position and not hitting an elbow or breaking like 90 degrees, like leaning back too far, or putting a hand out to post to catch himself. So the fact
That's
that
like a
he stayed
big
in the
issue
chest
with
wrap,
wrestling.
yeah.
Honestly, it's a huge issue. I don't see how people are going to
That's
ever follow the
not
sport.
considered a takedown. That position is not considered a takedown.
So, and that's what I said. Like
So the onus is on Carter to make him put a hand out, an elbow down, or his back exposed to score.
he had both legs wrapped. Kyle
Right.
Dake is sitting on his butt.
On his
Oh
butt.
yeah, I
How is
remember
that?
seeing it. Yeah.
It's
But
literally
that's
the Jordan Oliver situation all over again.
How
yeah,
are you going to get people to watch the sport if they can't even like that's my biggest issue with stuff like this and what causes problems. It's like something like that, 99% of the people would see that and they think take down.
and
So
that's
it's like
Yeah.
it's at some point it's they've got to make it more like we've been having years of issues with this in freestyle with Yanni
We've talked about it at length in different videos
and
that
it's true. I know.
are
I
not
know. It's just I
spectator
don't know.
friendly.
It's just not fan friendly at all. And this is a perfect example. And I guess it is the right call if they're saying the chest wrap was still initiated, but like, come
and
on.
what's a takedown? I mean, for years, like, are you saying that as long as you don't, you can be on your butt with both legs wrapped, but as long as you have a chest wrap and you're pinched on top of them, it's not a takedown? I mean, what ref in America would argue that in any other situation but this?
None. This is just yeah.
Well,
Like,
I mean, freestyle does have different rules for
but if
scoring,
this,
so
okay, if this wasn't Kyle Dake, if this was like a wrestleback match, and it
if the
was like
roles were reversed, if Kyle Dake was in
Oh,
on Carter there,
they'd probably call it. I think so. I think Kyle Dake is still one of the faces of USA Wrestling.
you think
Um,
they'd call it?
I think they call it a takedown if the roles were reversed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think they would because this is just the way freestyle is. It's just so like
I think this is a 1 in a million chance that they would call this. I don't think they would ever call this again.
1 in a million.
just like the Yanni thing, right? One in a
Yeah.
million.
I mean, I'm happy for Kyle Dake. He's an NLWC guy. I said that I think he has a good chance to do the whole thing. I don't love him at 86 kilo, especially after
No.
seeing how weak 79 is. Um,
I
I
just
think
think he's looking at the Olympics. That's his like shining, but it's like
I hear that, but it's
uh,
like 3 years too early.
yeah, I don't think
Years too early.
I just don't think even if he does make the team this year somehow, like if he in some way he finds a way to make the team by beating Zahid, I just don't see him being a threat in the foreseeable future because Carter's like right there and then
Yeah.
I mean,
Zahid
if
like
Dake's having this kind of trouble with the domestic guys, I don't think that he's gonna be, just steamrolling through guys on
no.
the international stage.
It's just yeah, father time is tough. It's not on his side.
Yeah. But
I'd love to see him win another an Olympic gold medal, but I don't
I
know.
don't see that happening.
Yeah.
it's not gonna. I think it would have happened by now.
Yeah. The last
No
Olympics
Burrows
was
either. You could say
Yeah.
that.
prime opportunity.
No
Well, that was
Burrows in the tournament.
I was
That
about
was
to say
surprising.
let's switch weights. We didn't see Burroughs at 74, 79. It was the first time
Biding his time to next year.
he's building interest. Um,
He's picking his spots, and he wants LA 2028 to
Jack,
be.
what are your thoughts on the whole rules and the takedown? Do you think it's just becoming too complicated? Like, is it just to the point where it's like not fan friendly?
I mean, freestyle is so hard to explain as
Yeah.
is.
It's just
I've never been a fan of freestyle.
it's exposure, not control. Like that's what
and
they
now
talk
I
about.
understand it more honestly. Before I was like, oh, I love freestyle. I don't understand how people don't like it, but like the older I get and like the more I watch it and then stuff like that happens, it's like I understand why people are like, I don't like this because it's like
Yeah, it's
calls
like the metric system.
yeah,
I don't get
it. Yeah. Controversial.
What'd you guys think of Real Woods?
Is his gut wrench really that tight? Like everyone's going over on it.
I thought
I would not have picked him to win the bracket.
I thought it was funny. He was up 10-1 on Brock Hardy, and then Brock Hardy stormed his way back, and then he
Yeah.
accidentally like hit him in the face at the end. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was like celebrating, and his
I
elbow
saw
hit
that, and
Brock
it, like,
Hardy in his head, and he was just like, "Oh,
I do think Real Woods has a legit chance of beating McKenna because McKenna's gas tank sometimes it's just like he just sort of fades. I don't know if it's gas tank or he just loses one-off matches, but there's definitely been losses from McKenna where you're like, what? Like, really? So I definitely has a real chance.
Real
I,
chance.
I guess like yeah, no pun intended. I guess my only thing would be like back to the gut wrench thing, like are Americans just not as good defending parterre or
No.
is his gut wrench that good? 'Cause
I
he
think
just took
there's
everyone.
certain guys that are probably just so freakishly strong."
Yeah, because he was turning everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and if he's that good, I mean, that's like a world like that's a huge skill to have.
And
He's
he's got
crushing.
good offense on his feet too.
Yeah, no, he does.
He's only gotten better since leaving Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't start that.
Wow. I mean that's a fact though.
oh.
Valencia
That's
blew it.
also good.
I mean, even
Oh
Um,
yeah, Valencia match. Yeah.
how does that happen? How do you blow a match like
it's
that?
like he clubbed him so hard that it stunned Valencia, and then he just fainted onto both legs, and somehow
Like,
you can, like what?
Yeah.
At least Valencia's a high schooler though, so he's got time to.
he's
to
not.
No, he's not
he's
a.
not. He's a red
He
shirt, but
redshirted.
that's
I was
right.
gonna
That's
say
right.
he's cool.
But still, man, Valencia, you really
Blew it, dude.
that's a head hands defense, man. Like, uh, but other than that, so he beat Valencia, and then who did he
He
beat
beat
in the semis?
Mendez.
He
He beat
beat
Mendez. He
Hardy.
was crushing
Mendez.
him, and then Mendez stormed back, but then it wasn't enough.
Good thing that he's was crushing them first, because otherwise it doesn't sound like he would have done too
But
well.
that goes back to the turns again because Mendez gave up like 3 turns, and I was like, wow, I've never seen Mendez like turn like.
Yeah, Woods was up 9-1 on him too. He was up big.
And Mendez was coming back, but when you're down 9-1, like I mean that's
I
a
mean, it
call.
ended up being 13-3.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry.
No. It was like
They
11-9.
reversed it.
Stormed
Yeah.
back to 13-3.
yeah, no, it was like 11-9.
11-7.
7-9.
Oh yeah, 11.
But just he didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
And then he beat Hardy in the finals, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hardy's a funky wrestler. That Seth Gross match was insane.
Yeah.
That one
They
that
scored
was
a
Oh,
the
ton
yeah.
of
most
dude.
points scored in a match in the tournament.
19-16. Insanity.
It doesn't even surprise me either because
You
Seth
show
Gross,
you show that match to someone, a non-wrestling fan, and see what they have to say.
yeah, that was,
They'd probably like, "This is cool, but what?"
I don't know what's going on.
yeah, they're like, wait, what is happening? There's so many points on the board.
You gotta follow.
Big difference between that match and Bo versus
I was
Bo.
about to say you got to follow it up with the Bo versus Bo match and be like, "You like wrestling? These are the same types of matches."
In Bo's defense, I don't know what the ref was doing.
That was horrible, poor officiating. I mean, I've never seen a match go 1-0 where
Oh yeah.
Bartlett should have been on the shot
The
clock.
ref put one blue. He was like one blue for Bo,
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, Bo's up 1-0, and then he's like, no, one red. And
So
Yeah,
the
I didn't know a freestyle match could end 1-0.
well, for starters, I hear what
But
Eamon's saying too, though. I mean, the ref, Bo Bartlett, was trying to take down Bo Bassett. He had Bo Bassett in a quad pod position. He was just trying to break down to one more of the limbs. Bo Bassett kind of pressured back and forced Bo Bartlett to step out of bounds. Bo Bartlett had saw the ref award him the step out, and he goes, "Cool, I'm up." The table challenged it. They white paddled it and said, "Actually, it's going the other way."
yeah, I was
And
like,
he goes,
what?
"Oh," in his mind, he goes, "I saw the ref. I'm up 1-0." But to have not a single guy go on the shot clock in that entire match is astounding. That the only point was an accidental step out in the beginning of the match.
It's just supporting Jack's point more about freestyle. I mean, that like it just doesn't make any sense. I
Well,
mean,
and that also brings back to that one year in the Olympics with Maroulis on the Japanese
oh yeah.
semifinals, and it was 1-1 on the shot clock, I think, and
Yep.
or no, it was 2-1. All 3 points were shot clock.
Yep.
Hmm.
Like
Real fun match,
that's
right?
in an Olympic semifinal, 3 shot clock, but that match, none. Like,
How does that even make sense? I just don't understand it. How does that happen? How does no one go on the shot clock?
what's the point of the shot clock if the shot clock's not going to get
Yeah,
you?
like,
Typically, it's the shot clock. Someone goes. What I've always found is that after the first minute, if there's no scoring, someone goes on the clock.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
They go
That
one
seems
past
like it was
70,
like a
someone
pretty
goes on.
standard thing. Like I didn't love it, but it was at least
Yeah,
they would always do it.
You make an argument that just American freestyle officiating is
terrible.
they just
Real American freestyle.
Ooh. Um,
we won't go
but
there. We won't go there.
I gotta say too, like to Bo Bartlett, dude, you've wrestled before. How do you
Yeah.
not know to look over at the table every now and then to be like, "Hey, am I up?"
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, but a lot of people were like, "How do the Penn State coaches not tell him that
That's what I mean. Like
he's
they have a
losing?"
30-second break in between to be like, "Hey,
Yeah,
like by the way, you're not winning actually."
I
you know
just
you're
I'm
losing, right?
Bo Bartlett. Like I just don't. I
But
just
you could hear the coaches yelling, "You're losing."
I always think about his match with Nick Lee when
Yeah,
it was that controversial match, but they scored a lot of points.
It was
And now
11-10,
Bo
yeah.
is like he just doesn't do anything. Like why? Like why? Like he has offense. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it's like this. And then he gets teched in the consolations. He gets
Oh
teched by
yeah,
Carter
yeah,
that was
Young.
weird.
Carter Young. You were like, is Carter Young in national title? No, not at all.
What did you
No,
guys think about Jesse Mendez versus Marcus Blaze? So it was a 4-1 win for Mendez. Blaze is obviously up from 61, wanted to give it a shot. I thought this could be a really exciting, fun match. I think Marcus Blaze is in a good spot. I didn't
he is
expect
in
to
a good
beat
spot.
Mendez. I didn't know how he was going to do it at 65. I mean, that's the whole weight class up in the senior division.
Yeah, against the
Um,
national champ.
yeah, two-time national champ.
I'm just
Yeah.
honestly I'm surprised Mendez lost to Real Woods. That's still surprising to me. I
Yeah,
I thought Mendez was it was gonna be Mendez and McKenna.
I thought so too.
But and then I'm not surprised he beat Blaze, but Blaze is legit.
What about Alirez?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
like
what happened to him?
Where was he?
I was thinking
Olympic
about
red
that.
shirt and
I was
worlds.
gonna ask you guys, is he hurt?
No, no, no. I think he is hurt. I think someone actually reported that he is hurt.
Because he in NCAAs he looked horrible.
He did, yeah.
He looked awful. Like he did, yeah.
That was the Cactus Collective champ.
So, Mike, I
I
gotta get your thoughts on Mr. PJ Duke.
Are we going to
Oh,
70? Because I wanted to talk about Blaze versus Bo.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I guess we could
go
talk
ahead
about
and
That's
finish your
big
thought.
news. This was the match that people wanted to see. Marcus Blaze versus Bo Bassett, two household names at this point. One Penn State, one Iowa, meeting
yeah.
probably for one of the possibly last times in their career if Marcus goes back to 61 like everyone expects him to. And it was a high flying match, low scoring, but Bo got worked.
Why
And
should he go down though after that result? Why should he go down to
well, he's more comfortable at 33. I mean,
yeah, but look at what he just did at 65.
I
Yeah,
think
but
that just speaks to how good he is, though. I don't think that's because,
I
his
think
goal
he
was
would
to
do
make the world
better.
team
That's kind
64.
of like Zahid Valencia is going to do better at 86 than at 92.
Yeah.
He may have a
that's
world
true.
medal at 92, but I think he'd do better at 86.
But,
Yeah, that's true.
you
That's a
know,
good point.
Bo Bassett got 4 pointed by Marcus Blaze.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
you know,
not surprised Blaze won, honestly. I
yeah, I think
I
he
thought he
wrestled
was gonna
pretty good.
win. He's kind of lanky too.
Yeah.
So it's like, and like we were saying before, like Bassett, like with the offense is
Yeah.
something that's been noticeable, and Blaze has great counter offense. Honestly, like I know like Flo made a post and it is surprising, but also not in a way because Blaze is really good.
Blaze is that dude.
Yeah, he's good. Um, I guess anything else you guys want to say, or should we go to 70 and talk about PJ Duke?
What a phenom.
I
So
will say Andonian gave him a better match.
I don't
Andonian,
know. The Antrell Taylor one was very close, and the Ridge Levitt one was a close one. They were both very
yeah,
close.
yeah,
PJ's that dog though.
yeah. He's legit. He's
It's funny on the Antrell Taylor one because the 4 point
4 point
move,
throw, yeah.
he didn't even get the takedown on.
Yeah. That's what freestyle kind of sucks.
yep.
So
But,
it's like, what are we doing here?
for PJ, back-to-back wins over Nebraska defending national champion.
Bad weekend for Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
Horrible
do you
weekend.
think Rich Levitt had that takedown with the leg in?
I don't. I think that, and so what we watched, because I talked to you guys about it,
Yeah.
PJ did this in another match where he was like, oh, I'm in a bad position. I'm going to step out and then let whatever happens, happens. And then
I
when
don't understand
they'll say I stepped
continuation.
out.
This is also with freestyle. Now I'm confused. Why is that not continuation?
Point scored.
I know, but
Because
they,
once you step out, it's a point.
yeah,
I
I
know, but
guess.
Amon's point that continuation because it has to start and has to go through. Like they will sometimes do that as a
Yeah, it'll
non-continuation.
like go through and then it's like,
Oh,
well, I don't know. I don't know. It's confusing. But if he did step out, I guess.
PJ's a smart wrestler. I
Yeah.
also liked, and this pissed off Antrell Taylor. I don't know if you guys watched the end of the match. PJ's already winning. Antrell's trying to go, work for something on the edge. It doesn't happen. He just gives up. PJ Duke pushes him out of bounds, gets the extra 1 point. And it's like match has already been over.
Yeah, he's wrestling to the
He
whistle.
wants to
Can't.
score points. He's a dog like that.
He's really good, PJ Duke.
He's
Now,
a
I
beast.
don't know if he can.
Beat Yanni.
I don't know. I don't know. What
that's
Yanni will we get?
That's a big ask. That's a huge ask. Yanni
Yeah.
is not just, some guy. He is
he's also healthy once again.
Yeah.
PJ is
Also,
too.
I guess another surprise is James Green.
Yeah.
I know Jack's not surprised, but
I
Caleb Henson
mean,
Again,
went by
Nebraska having a
criteria.
great weekend.
Yeah.
hey, Father
Caleb
Time is
Henson went by
undefeated.
criteria over James Green.
Their time is undefeated.
Do you think, guys? Do you think he retires soon?
yes.
He already retired once.
No, he stays retired. I guess I should ask.
Yeah. Yeah, he will probably. If he's not, because 70 was supposedly it's his weight because he has done really well in the past. So
Yeah,
like,
he's been a beast
there's
since
no
then.
excuse about the weight, really. Like,
He has a
and
great double.
He had a hip surgery that he said he was feeling the best he's felt in a long time.
but he didn't even really use the double the tournament. I didn't see him try to really shoot a double like against Henson at all. I was shocked. I was like, this is like his staple.
How
So I'm
about
not really sure what's going on with James Green, but
Henson on Andonian?
I thought Henson was going to win that. I
me
was
too.
expecting
Please.
Henson
Henson
Duke.
blew it.
I was
A
expecting Henson
takedown.
Duke.
That
You think
takedown game.
Andonian wishes he went 149 back when he was in college?
Yeah. Well, didn't he go 49 when?
I think it was career
I don't think
57.
when Henson's never gone 41.
No, but he was Andonian was 49 one year. That's when him and what's his name? Gomez had the
Oh yeah.
crazy matches. He was 49 one year. He definitely was.
Oh, it's
Remember?
probably pre Henson.
They
Yeah,
were kitchen sinking
pre-Henson.
it. They were just going nuts, throwing each other.
Yeah. For 70, I think it's honestly it's gonna be Yanni probably.
It's tough not to see Yanni,
Zane not being there is just
So
surprising.
how you like the high IQ move of Hayden Zilmer to go down to 97 instead of duke it out at heavyweight and win the world team trial spot.
I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
No Gable at heavyweight, by the way. What's going on
He's
there?
just
Yeah,
a
like
jack.
Gable is gonna be at heavyweight.
I'm so sick of Gable.
I,
It's
I
so
don't, but no,
weird.
I'm being serious. Why is
I'm agreeing with you. I think he's an idiot. I've said like no Mason Paris either. What's he doing? Oh, he's trying out for the NFL.
yeah? Oh, I saw. Yeah, what's the deal with
Everyone's like, let him chase the dream. It goes, dude, like, why?
this? Is the
This is
third
the
guy, the
dream.
third heavyweight that's saying I'm gonna go to the end. Like,
Like, I get Mason Paris. You played football. That's at least better than Gable. But
Yeah.
dude, you were a two-star linebacker 5 years ago in high school, 6 years ago. Like, I was a really good runner in middle school. I'm not going up
yeah,
to the friggin'
Yeah. Sometimes I'll see
trials.
Jared
Be like, hey
Etzler
guys, I got my shoes
say how
ready
they
for.
were high school athletes.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Like, okay, that's irrelevant.
look how big Gable is. Like him and Wyatt, both huge people. Did you guys watch any of the Buffalo Bills footage from training camps?
Oh
no,
God.
what?
Gable looked like a child compared to the other
Yeah,
offensive
these are
defensive
some
line.
big men.
Yeah,
Like
they
these
are
guys
big.
are 6'6", 340, 335. Gable's like, yeah, man, I'm 6 foot 265. And they go, cool. So like, are you a tight end? He goes, oh no, like I'm not fast. I'm like a lineman. And they go, oh, well, that sucks.
Like, do they not like? Do they think just because they're heavyweight, like that just automatically means like they're big enough to be an NFL lineman? Like those guys are like,
A
They
lot
eat
of
a
people
lot of Tyler Kasek's dad's cows.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going
Yeah,
to point to
that's
the
what they
Stephen
need.
Neal thing, though. And they're going to say, well, he did it. He was a multiple time Super Bowl champion. It goes, yeah, that
A
isn't
world
everybody.
champion.
Well, he
yeah,
was, yeah, but he won the Super Bowl several times as well.
No, I know, but he was also a world champion.
Yes.
yeah.
And just because it happened for one person doesn't now make that the standard. That is the outlier. And it's awesome. It's a great story. I've
I'm
always
not
said
gonna lie. I know we had obviously before the whole incident, but 97 kilograms for the US is really like
week.
Why do you think Hayden
really.
Zilmer went down from 125 after
No,
just
no, it's
years beating?
smart, but like I'm just saying in general, even if Snyder was still, I don't know what's going on there, but even if he was still competing, like it's still weak.
As the rules state, if he's suspended and can't compete at Final X, Zilmer's got the spot.
Yeah, because I don't know how him getting that lifted that quickly would be pretty surprising.
But
But
yeah, Zilmer got it done.
yeah, 97 kilos is weak though. I'm not gonna lie. Is JILO still?
Hey, if I had
Yes,
competed
sir.
at 125 kilos, I would have placed top six, guaranteed. Yeah,
Hey, look,
David Carr,
David Carr won it over Jared.
Terrell Barraclaw.
Yeah. David
Terrell
Carr didn't
looked
look that
good.
great. I gotta be honest. He looked better to me at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, David Carter. I don't know, man. I don't see him beating Messenbrink. I just can't.
I
Hey,
don't
he's done it before.
Yeah, but
Yeah, after that last loss, though, I mean, it
It's in
seems
his
like the
head now.
tides have turned.
do you guys think Jason Nolf would beat Mitchell
Yes.
Messenbrink? I do.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he'd beat him. Why is Nolf not wrestling? Does
In
anyone on
Texas, he's doing his thing. I think he's,
this is
Were
like
you guys surprised to see the reversal of Haynes Hamity?
no.
No, because freestyle's weird like that.
Plus, I've always said that Haynes is better.
actually yes, I am surprised by that because
Boo.
Of course you have.
I'm
I've
surprised
always
by
said
that.
Haynes is better. I mean,
I'm
in this
riding
case,
with
he
him.
is, but
I'm riding with him.
It's like Haynes stopped all his offense basically. Everything.
Yeah,
No ankle pick, no like
it's like he was bitter about NCAAs or something.
yeah.
that was my joke.
I know. Oh,
But no, to what Eamon's point, like Levi was like, oh yeah, I'll just stop his shots and I'll just score my own takedowns. It's like, dude, where was this in
Yeah.
March?
you see, he was still developing it.
Yeah.
An
But
extra
yeah,
month and a half.
Do you think
for
Haynes can win
74,
the
I
spot?
think Massenberg right now is the
Haynes
favorite.
wins the spot.
Do you think he could
For Haynes?
at
Mm.
79? Do you think he beats Wick?
Yeah, he could.
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna count him out.
it's not really unreal because Wick's
doesn't
kind of
really
not
shoot.
known for blowing it, but like
It's possible.
Wick doesn't really
can blow
shoot.
matches. Like Wick was
I know.
4-0 against Shane Griffith and then lost on the fifth meeting. So
Cook.
I don't have a ton of faith in Wick. So yeah, this is
I
hard.
guess it just with those two weight classes, it surprises me that guys like Joseph and like Nolf just decided to just retire because like this is like if they wanted to make a team, this year was like perfect for them. Like especially like Nolf, like
Yeah, it's
70.
prime for the taking. You think Machiavello retires?
He was pissed after the Sinclair match.
Yeah, I could see
I
it.
would be.
It's
Uh,
coming
Especially
soon.
like Machiavello is like huge jacked up, and Sinclair does not look like he's ripped.
No,
I don't know if he retires, but I was impressed to see a Josh Barr match. I thought Sinclair might have gotten this one back. Um,
yeah.
the first time they wrestled in freestyle was incredible, where Josh Barr was all offense, and every time he shot, Sinclair just fed him hips and then hit a go behind.
Yeah.
Learned from it.
Well, he hasn't lost. He's won the last three meetings.
Yeah, exactly. He learned from it.
Josh Barr, super stoked on him. I'm still disappointed we didn't see AJ Ferrari in either the U.S. Open or the World Team Trials, especially because he mentioned that he was going to do it.
But no,
Um,
he's more hyped about, his new home.
yeah, wherever he's at.
I don't even understand. I can
UN. No, not UNC.
Yeah,
UNC.
UNC.
Are his
Yeah,
grades that
UNC.
good?
What's up?
Are
Rob Cole. Not Rob Cole.
his
Rob Cole.
academics
Yeah,
that
Rob
good?
Cole.
I don't know how he is as a student, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
that
don't even.
all I'm saying is him and Bill Belichick on the same campus.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's a movie I'd watch.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Did you expect Hilger to pull it off?
Yes, I think Trent Hilger's an underrated guy. The fact that he floored Wyatt was pretty impressive. Um, do I think he's going to give Wyatt a challenge? No.
Freaking like Thor. He's got like crazy strength.
He's super strong. I
Yeah,
don't think
he's
he's going to
huge.
challenge Wyatt. Um,
No.
I think this is Wyatt's to lose. Happy for Trent Hilger. Thought it was cool for Demetrius Thomas to go a little, to go do pretty well. Um,
Yeah, that was a surprise.
but it's one of those days where I was just like, I miss Don Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dom. The You're the guy you gotta beat to get the spot.
That's it.
It's
He's the
actually crazy
gatekeeper.
the more I think about it, how weak 97 kilos is in the US.
Wasn't Trent Hilger? Oh, you already said did you say Thored him or Ford him?
Or
Both.
Both. Both.
Okay.
because I remember I watched it, I was like, oh my God, he just picked Wyatt up. And I was like, oh my God. And then Wyatt then beat him like a drum for the rest of the match. He's like, I'll teach
Grow
you.
his hair out a little bit longer.
So you guys think there's like basically no chance of Snyder competing at Final X?
I believe that he can still be there. I
I,
would. I
I'd
got
say it's not like a sure thing, but
Yeah.
it's not looking good.
No,
Like,
it's not.
It's
We
not
wanted-
looking good. And like I said, this is Hayden Zilmer, his master plan. He just
Yeah.
beat the World Team Trials after dropping down a weight class, and he doesn't even have to wrestle at Final X and he's gonna get the spot.
For all we know, Hayden Zilmer set up Kyle Snyder.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
he yeah. Drop down a weight after losing the U.S. Open.
I'm gonna ruin his marriage.
My
And then
goodness.
he goes, it's like you ever see the group meme? It goes step one, step two, and he looks back at it like that's Hayden Zimmer. He goes step one, ruin Kyle Snyder's marriage. He goes step two, drop down to 97 kilo.
Yeah.
Step three, Kyle Snyder's still allowed to wrestle in Final X. It goes, wait, what?
I just think the whole thing is just so shocking.
It's just disappointing. It's
Just
so
like
upsetting. To be honest with
I don't I was just thinking about it like the day after it happened, and I was like, what? Like,
Do you think Hayden Zilmer is going to bring home any hardware?
Yes,
Hmm.
you'll bring home whatever
Maybe
metal.
some software.
Some software?
oh my gosh.
Eamon loved that one.
Yeah, that was
I thought it was a dumb one, but well,
yeah.
big hit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, I mean, the men's, at least for the men's side, we could talk about the women's side another day.
Yeah.
Because there are some interesting things that I think we're going to talk about for that.
You
But
mean a meat?
Yeah, literally that's the
that's
first thing.
definitely the top of my list.
Yeah. She looks so bad.
Only in
Are
that
we still
match, though. That's what's
recording?
crazy. Yeah, we
I
are.
mean, again, Skylar Grote, she's tough.
I know, but
Yeah.
come on. Like,
She's a solid, like she's kind of the Don Bradley of the
I know, but Don
side of things.
Bradley wouldn't have
Like
a one.
everyone always beats Skylar Grote to get to the spot, and she never seems to get the spot. But
So Amit did the interview afterward where she was like, look, like she wrestled the same way that I did. She was big in the 2-on-1. She's like, I just have to, be better at my positioning. She's like,
That's fair. We all have
I've
those.
been sick. I've been dealing with some injuries. She goes like, but it's no excuse. Like you could tell if you watched the match how pissed she was when she got her hand raised. Like she tried to walk off the mat. Like
Yeah, I
that
saw
is not
that.
gonna be like she was like usually she's super positive. She's this, she's the young stud.
No, she didn't want any part of it.
She
She
was
wanted.
like, I'm at it. She goes, F this, like, and then in her post-match interview, they asked her, she's like, oh, how great it is. She goes, oh, it was so nice to have such young fans domestically. She's like, I want to be a great role model. And then they're like, what did you think of the match? And she just like stone faced and she's like, it wasn't my best performance, and I think I could learn a lot from it. But I was like, hey, you handled that with a lot of class and a lot of maturity because she's 20. She's 20, or she's
I
21
don't think
this year.
she's that young too. It's like,
She might be 21 this year. Um, to handle that, and like that's her closest match she's had domestically or internationally in who knows how long.
yeah, I've
I don't remember the last time she had a match that like was
Yeah,
like arguably she might lose.
that's so. I mean, that's it. Like for her, like for everybody, like, is there a chink in the armor here?
It seemed like it.
Hey, everyone's allowed to have
yeah,
a
she
bad
still won
match.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, so we'll see what
Did
happens.
any of you think that former Connecticut wrestler Kendra Ryan was going to win the spot at Final
Mhm.
X?
I mean, she took second, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Shout out to her brother AJ. AJ was
Yeah.
my boy, dude.
Did you guys like to see that Rana Heaton Gross is back in competitive mode?
Good for her.
She took second too.
I was disappointed that for Lexi Janiak, I like her a lot. Ever since I watched
She
her get
took second
screwed.
too.
What's it? Ever since I watched her get screwed,
Another
funny,
second.
and I was like, "That's BS." I said, I remember being so mad about it,
Yeah, no, that was pretty bad.
and then I was like, "I'm gonna root for this girl so hard," and I was like, "Oh, Jakara Winchester." It's like, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. Um, and then Diamond Guilford beat Mackie Ed, which was a solid win.
She was so happy to win. Like she was like celebrating. That was super awesome. Like that's what I love is like the positivity like that.
Yeah, except for now she's got to beat Kylie Welker, which
Yeah.
eh,
As good as Penn State and Nittany Lion Wrestling Club is looking on the men's side, the Iowa women's team is doing just the same.
Yeah,
I'd say like they're looking really strong.
yeah.
yeah, that Hawkeye Wrestling Club is really,
Only for the girls.
doing some real wonders for the other
Um,
girls.
Um, we're gonna
Maybe.
have to once Final X gets a little closer, we're gonna have to make our prediction videos
Oh, definitely.
because there's some interesting things there.
I mean,
Right now,
maybe we'll get that out there in like a week or so.
Yep.
right now, Penn State slash Nittany Lion
Are we
Wrestling
still
Club,
recording?
yes,
Okay.
has
Like,
has has 7 for Final X. Oklahoma State has 4. I mean, this Oklahoma State team is looking feisty, and they're coming very fast for Penn State. Cornell's got 2 guys. Iowa, NC State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Cal Poly, Iowa State, and Michigan all have 1 for Final X. So stay
yeah,
tuned for when we make our
two
predictions.
two team race.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.